Hey guys, it's Jason here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to my first running slash finish video of the Losi 5ive-B. I finished this up about a week ago. I've got everything installed now. ESC has been configured. Everything is bolted down. And today is going to be, I'll kind of go over the buggy, talk about what I've done, what I chose. But more importantly, guys, I'm going to get out today and give it kind of a shakedown run. This is not going to be anything crazy. I'm not going to be beating it hardcore. I'm not going to be even taking out the jump. I'm just going to be giving it a rip, getting a feel for it. You know, I'm going to admit something right now that I feel like I know how this is going to behave because this is very similar in setup to my Losi 5T. The only difference is obviously, I mean, instead of running the XLX, I've got an XLX2, you know, slightly different batteries and all that stuff. I should make it, guys, very known that I am not, these are not charged up to HV. They're not charged up to 4.35 volts. They're just at 4.2. So all that's good. There's no, you know, the voltage is where the XLX2 wants it. So all that's good. But what we're going to do, we're going to jump in the truck. We're going to head over to the school and we're going to give this a run. All right, guys, we're here. We're at the school. I've got the B on the tailgate. What we're going to do first, we're going to fire it up. We're going to get the GPS going. We'll take a couple of speed runs, get an idea. With this setup, 16 tooth pinion, 800 kV, XLX2, what kind of speed I'm getting. I do have a 18 tooth pinion as well that I'll be using. I'm going to try out. But again, today I'll get a feel for it. I'm going to be checking motor temps, seeing how hot it gets. All I have on here right now is actually an X-maxx heatsink, so I'm going to monitor this. I don't think I'll have a problem with this pinion, the 16 tooth, but again, I do really want to be able to gear this up a little bit, so I kind of need a starting point. But anyways, let's get this out and see how it does. All right, guys, let's see how we did. So 43 miles an hour. I guess that's okay for something this big with the 800, but again, as I've mentioned, guys, in other videos, that is going to be changing. Oh. I'm back. All right, guys, so I got the B home. I've already taken the tires off, kind of cleaned everything up, cleaned the body, took the air gun to the whole truck and got everything, you know, back to, well, as good as it's going to look. And what I wanted to do, guys, right now was just sort of talk about the B in general. I don't think this is going to come as a surprise to anybody that watched the running footage. It is slow. And I feel like I already kind of knew how it was going to be. I've had a few Losi Brushless 5Ts. I've had a few Losi 5ive-Bs and 5Ts. And to be fair to the Bajas, they've actually always been quicker just because they're lighter and less drivetrain loss and all that kind of stuff. So I felt like I knew how this was going to run. However, I am a little disappointed. I was expecting more out of the fact that this is a little bit smaller, should weigh a little bit less. You know, I've got the big XLX2 in there. I kind of thought that maybe it would bring just a little bit more power to the table and be a little bit more spunky. I found today, don't get me wrong, the buggy is wicked. Watching that thing drive around with that body was awesome. It handles amazing. But I think I have, to be fair to the buggy, a lot working against me from those tires. If you watch a couple of times, you know, you can actually see where the buggy kind of hooks up because the tires kind of hit the terrain that they want. There's a part where I'm over on the grass and I was kind of climbing up and down the hill, and there's like this little dead patch sort of in the middle, and you can see at one point I'm sliding around and I hit it and the thing just launches. It goes so quick. And again, those tires, they're not for what I was doing today. Second would be all the diffs. This buggy, the Losi 5ive-B, is built to race. That's what it was for. It never had the basher in mind. So all the diffs, guys, I don't even remember what the oils are, but they're thin, like they're nothing. And I could feel that, you know, when you're driving it around, you can feel like you're gunning it, and you can sort of like, you can hear the motor, but it's not doing what you want it to do. And I believe a lot of that is just the diffs and stuff like that, and power, unfortunately, and loading where you don't want it to. So that's something else. And obviously, guys, the biggest, I keep pointing and I keep referencing the 800 kV, but really that's not the case. The 800 kV will run up to 13S. My issue, guys, is the XLX2 running on 8S. It is underpowered. And I've watched, guys, a lot of videos. I've watched videos of the 1100 kV, and I've watched videos, guys, of just 12S setups. A buddy of mine, Dave Hubbard, hopefully I don't screw up his last name. I've watched, you know, a couple of his rips on 12S, and it's crazy. It's so stupid fast that I feel like a buggy like this is what it needs 12S. I've watched videos of the 1100, you know, so 1100 kV, probably mixed with some diff tuning, you know, higher pinion, and the biggest thing, obviously, too, being wheels and tires. The one I watched, the guy was running like 6 scale, like X-maxx size wheels and tires. And that seemed to go pretty good. It definitely seemed to rip. It seemed to behave definitely a lot better than this did. Like a couple of times, even when I was coming up the hill, I would go to correct, and there was nothing. There was just no power left to correct. As well as, guys, these tires, they're not going to help either. For those that don't know, when you've got big tires, they help you to correct. They help you, you know, for backflips and all that kind of stuff. Bigger tires do make all that stuff more easy. So, you know, I hate to, you know, kind of make this video go to like a, you know, a Debbie Downer sort of video, because that's not really the case, guys. I love this buggy. This buggy's not going anywhere, and it is going to be a build that will just be happening, you know, all the time. You're always going to, if you're, you know, if you subscribe to the channel, you're always, you know, you're going to be watching videos on whatever, Haas, X-maxx, Creighton, blah, blah, blah. But this is always going to show up because I'm always going to be working on it. I'm going to probably pull the center diff, change out the oil. I may try the 18-tooth pinion. I feel like it's not going to be that drastic of a change to really improve and to make the buggy more what I want, but I'm going to try anyways. Right now, I cannot afford to buy the Beast combo. As much as I want to, as much as I want that 12S setup, I just can't do it right now. It's going to happen. I just can't do it right now. But guys, I'm going to say this much. The buggy does handle amazing. It looks just wicked out there. Like the size and everything about it is amazing. It was fun to drive that way. A couple of times I had to stop the video because people kind of came around and, you know, they've seen me there before running stuff and they were like, oh, this is new. And they wanted to see it and they wanted to check it out and stuff like that. So I'm very happy with the build. I'm happy with the Losi 5ive-B. It's super fun. These servos, again, guys, these are not expensive servos, even though there's two of them. They kind of suck. I'm definitely going to have to improve. I think this is just this whole setup in general, the servo mount as well as the servos, to kind of just improve the steering, even though, to be fair, the steering wasn't awful. There's a few times where I kind of was driving around slow. I was sort of showing just the censored motor, but at the same time, just kind of showing the steering so that you guys could get an idea of it. But, and oh, actually, the other thing I forgot to mention, no electronic brake whatsoever. So in the ESC and in the settings, I completely removed the brake, as well as reverse. Actually, I got rid of the reverse as well. So you basically forward out of the motor, and then I'm using the mechanical brake, which actually felt pretty good. A couple of times when I really hammered on it, thanks to those tires, the bucket just kind of slid on the pavement and stuff like that, and slid on a little bit of the dirt. So that worked pretty good. I'm kind of happy with that. I'm glad I'm sticking with the mechanical brake. But anyways, guys, there you have it. That's my first run. You know, mostly, guys, what I expected. I think I've mentioned that already. It's mostly what I expected. I was hoping for a little bit more oomph, but again, with some diff tuning and the, you know, going up in the pinion, as long as the motor can handle it temp-wise and all that stuff in ESC, I think that'll be a bit of an improvement. But again, not exactly what I want. You know, this buggy is going to get a bigger system. It's going to get more knobbier tires that will hook up on the grass and stuff like that, and hook up on the dirt. Because even when I was ripping around the dirt, you could see it was just spinning like crazy. But anyways, guys, there you have it. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, please subscribe, and enjoy a couple of pics.